Paidi Shea captained Kerry their 29th victory in 1985. He captained them on the strength of West Kerry winning the county championship the previous year. It was unusual to get the captaincy out of what you'd done with West Kerry. You were the manager, trainer, player with West Kerry the previous year.
I remember it well. Paul Scanlon from Dingle approached me and he said, look, it would be a great year to win the championship 84 and there's a good foundation of a team there, and there's only just a matter of getting them together and getting them organised. Trying to fit in divisional training was that was the hardest part of it, but we managed.
Do you think that it still argues well that the captain of the Kerry team should come from the winning county champions, divisional teams and club teams? That goes back many decades in Kerry. Is it a good thing?
I don't know. I suppose that's for and against it. Weeshie really. Obviously in modern football now at the moment, obviously a captain plays a very, very big part. In 1975 when we won our first All-Ireland, I know for a fact that Mickey Sullivan on that occasion played a really, really big part. You know, going out onto the field and the speeches before going out onto the field and all of that. And Mickey was a really, really good captain. So a captain does play a big part probably, all right. And you can be lucky and you can be unlucky.
1985 dawned and Paidi Shea was appointed captain. You were following the footsteps of the late Paddy Kennedy and Bill Dillon, two legendary West Kerry men. Were you conscious of the fact that you were following in the footsteps of these two famous captains?
Here I wasn't really. Weeshie, it was a big honour. It was a great honour to get the captaincy of it. I suppose it was the only accolade that I hadn't achieved in the game, and it was great. It is a great honour to captain Kerry, and it is a bigger honour still if you manage to win the All-Ireland. So I was very fortunate and I'm very proud of the fact.
But in the run-up to the final and the preparations, there was a distraction because there was a huge furore in the national media about the Bendix washing machine incident that went on. Talk to us about that and the part that you played in it as captain.
In 1981, the Kerry team went on a world tour, and a big fundraising campaign went on at that stage, at that time, and we were to go on an American trip again in 85, and it would be very difficult for us, I'd say, to have the same kind of a collection or gathering of, you know, funds for the team to go away. So there was an opportunity there with this Bendix washing machine. I think, well, Frank King, God rest his soul, was chairman at the time, and I think there was a directive came from Croke Park that what the Kerry team were doing was unconstitutional, and it was.
You were advertising.
We were to appear on the Sunday press of the time, the Sunday press, a full picture behind the Bendix washing machine, all of the Kerry players, and we were getting, I think it was £30,000 for our American holiday. We were saying, was it going to be a distraction? Was it going to distract the team from playing in the final and all that? But it didn't actually, because we were all very mature at that stage anyhow.
What onus was on you, Paidi, as captain in relation to the build-up and in relation to the press and the media? Was it as intense then as it is now in 2009?
I think if you examine the performances of captains, you know, in major games, in All-Ireland finals, normally the captain doesn't have a good game. And I was very, very, very conscious of that coming up to the game, and I was very, very determined to ensure or to give myself every possible chance for kind of segregating the captaincy and just going out onto the field and ensuring that I was going to do my primary job, which was to play cornerback for Kerry and to play to the best of my ability. And I think I managed to do that all right.
The captain usually gives some bit of a speech in the dressing room and he rallies the troops and things. Did you do that?
All the captains that I played with always gave a spiff in the dressing room, I did. But I think a very funny incident happened in that final. Was obviously 85, also was the year that I built the pub here in Ventry. There was a very good friend of mine who went to the All-Ireland, Dan Brick, very famous for building the house in Inishikilane for Charlie Haughey. So Dan was in the Hogan stand anyhow, but when Joe McNally scored one goal, and then he scored a second goal, Dan reckoned anyhow that the whole full back line was shaking, and that Paidi Shea was shaking being the captain, but the fella that was doing most of the shaking was the bank manager up in the stand that gave me the loan to build the pub.
Well, while he might have said that Paidi Shea was shaking, you still held your men scoreless that particular day. But you went in at half-time 9 points up. But as you said, Joe McNally came out in the second half and he rattled in 2 goals. Was there any time that you thought that you wouldn't be accepting the cup?
Oh, jeepers, there was. I mean, I think what really turned the tide for us there, Dublin were really coming back at us. And I think what really turned us, Pat Spillane kicked a great point right under the Hogan stand.
For Pat Spillane, this is an important kick. That's why he's the great player that he is. Pat Spillane, when Kerry needed it most.
Moran on our Thompson, our Carton, our Bruno, our Paidi O'Shea.
Bringing home the cup then to Kerry, bringing home the cup to West Kerry, bringing it home to the Gaeltacht, was it something that you had dreamt about? And had you had seen all this growing up as a young fella, like most Kerry young lads would?
That's right. I regret an awful lot of the homecoming because I was hell-bent in landing the cup in the cross here in Vintry, and that was my lifelong ambition, you know. And I should have given more consideration, I think, in hindsight, to the other little places like Onascal, Camp coming home from Tralee. You know, even actually we didn't even go around the town with the cup, which was my fault. And I regret that, actually.
Later on in your career in Paidi, when you were training Kerry teams, you had Liam Hassett captain one year and you had Seamus Mining captain another year. Would you have put any extra onus on the captains of those teams, you being trainer, manager of the Kerry team? Did the captaincy bear anything different for them?
No, the only regret I have in all of that is actually the appointed captain for the 97 All-Ireland didn't actually make the team for the final, and that was unfortunate. I regretted that for Mike Hassett, because believe it or not, I would have Mike Hassett in one of my top 3 players that I trained in my time as being one of the best players that I've trained for. I think he had everything.
Yeah, and then of course Seamus Mining captain you in 2000.
Seamus was a great captain, and there is no player in my time and in the teams that I prepared and trained has given as much to Kerry footballer as what Seamus Mining gave.